two. We have the arteries and we have the veins, and they are all like this. They are tubes. So the arteries carry blood from the heart to the rest of the body, to all the organs, your liver, your kidney, your everything in the body, all the organs. Yeah? And the veins carry all the problems from the body back. So, but today, for the purpose of this training, we're talking about the blood vessels, specifically the arteries. Okay? Do we understand that? So when the pressure in the blood vessels, this is the vessel, this is the hole. You see, where the pressure inside this tube is too high. That's what we call blood. It's too high, and it's reads 140/90 or higher. Then it means you're having high blood pressure. Okay. I'm just going to answer your question before I continue. Okay. When we say hypo is when your blood pressure is low. But even with this, we measure it between two things. We have the upper one called systolic, and the down bit is called diastolic. Yeah. So when we say hypo is when the diastolic is about maybe less than 100. Yeah. And the down bit might say maybe 40. That's hypotension. And when we say hypertension, anything from 121 over 81 to 139, even let's say 140/90, it means you are getting hypertension. Are we clear? Have I made myself clear? Okay, so let's move on. If there are no questions, let's move on. So you see the reason why this is a killer disease. Okay. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of anatomy. This is not part of it, but I just want you to understand. You see, in life, how many years are all of us? We've been eating, drinking, doing so many things. And it's just like a kettle. If you boil water in kettle, you see that as time goes on, you find some, sediment in the scales in the kettle. Yeah, this is what happens to us. If whatever you eat, these blood vessels, you get these scales settling inside the tube. You understand? And then as you go, if it's not treated, then it becomes a problem. So what happens is when the blood, when our heart is the one that pumps blood throughout the whole body. But it pumps blood through this artery, yeah, and the veins. So what happens is, if the blood, under normal circumstances, the blood will push your blood, the heart will push your blood through your vein gently without any problem. You understand? That is when we are all normal. When we have a normal blood pressure, the heart doesn't need any effort to do or need any strength, to push the blood. Because this tube is empty. There are no settlement. There's nothing. But because as we eat, as we age, whatever we do, the medications we take, these leave sediments. It leaves scales in this tube. And because of that, it gives the heart a work to do by pushing, using a very strong pressure or strong effort to push the blood through this tube to other parts of the body. So when this happens, it means the arteries are really damaged. They are in problem. And it makes your whole body become, you are in agony. You are in trouble if it's not treated. I don't know if I've made myself clear. Yes. Okay. So, Pastor's wife wants to know, Pastor Sarah wants to know the cause of it. We'll be there soon. Yeah? I'm going there. So let's get this right. So when we say high blood pressure, it's the pressure in this tube, in the artery. Yeah? And if this pressure is high, from 140/90 and more, it means you have hypertension. Are we okay? Have we got it? Okay. So, okay, yeah.
In addition to what Minister Margaret mentioned about high blood pressure, Pastor Sarah wants to know what causes it. Now, the causes of high blood pressure, in conjunction with what she just mentioned, it's stress is one of the biggest killer in high blood pressure. And many people are walking around with stress and they don't even know that their body is stressed. And it can happen. If you was on the forum last night, you would have heard Minister Tisha talking about depression, which is stress leading onto all these issues. So when the body is stressed, what happens is we have chemicals in the body, hormones, that releases all these chemicals. And once the chemical is released into the blood, the hormones start flaring up everywhere. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Does anyone here, or how many people do have an understanding of high blood pressure? How many people do have an understanding of it? Because it's good we know all about these things for our health, because in everything, it's all moderation. Now, when the blood starts to pump, as Minister Margaret said, it's getting higher and higher and higher. And if you look right here at your neck, you can look in a mirror and you will see there's a vein there. And that vein, if it starts get swollen up, or you can see that vein, you know you are suffering with high blood pressure or hypertension. And it can be chronic hypertension over time because you're not aware, because stress, the body is stress. Work stress, we have home stress, we have stress everywhere. You know what I'm trying to say about stress. It's everywhere. Immigration stress, social problem stress, and pregnancy stress, the body stress. So the cause of it is stress. The bottom line is stress. When the body is stressed, the blood pressure elevated. And this is one of the factors that causes the high blood pressure. It's like you going down through a bush or a jungle and you see a lion, and once you see that lion, the adrenaline level kicks in and your heart becomes faster and you start to run and you start to palpitate. And you know, I must get away quick. So stress, any eruption in life, any challenges, a sudden event, a death in the family, a death of a close one friend, any illnesses, cancer, anything, is stress. And this is what causes the high blood pressure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Minister Pastor Grace. Okay, besides stress, sorry, were you gonna?
Apart from all the events that happen in your life, you know, that bring stress, what about food? Does that bring stress?
Yeah, I'm going to continue. So let's relax. Yeah.
We are getting there, Minister Helen.
Yeah,
and Pastor gave us 20 minutes between me and Margaret, so we are working together, so we won't go over the time. So we have to be respectful of the time.
Yeah, so besides stress, we also have a family history. If you have a family history of hypertension, stroke, heart attack, you're also you're at risk. Excessive intake of salt and fat, oil, the women. We want to make the stew, make sure that the oil is running in front. on top. So, who recommends that, or according to research, every one of us is meant to eat salt 5 grams. That's like a teaspoon a day. So if you are eating more than that, please, we have to stop it. And sometimes the food, some of the hidden salt is in the food that we eat. Yeah. Okay. So,
And if you have high blood pressure, please don't add salt to your diet.
yeah. And then, sorry. Did you hear that? Okay. The other point is physical inactivities. This is just lack of exercise. I'm not going to stretch this. Yeah. I know a lot of us don't do exercise. Yeah. Overweight, when you're overweight. When you are getting old. Yeah. Yeah. So the reason why when you are getting old, like that demonstration I said, the more you get older and you don't, you don't look after yourself, this tube keeps getting narrower and narrower and narrower. And then that makes it even more worse. Yeah? Okay. We also have alcohol intake. Excessive alcohol intake. Let me cover it nicely. Yeah? Excessive alcohol intake. Africans and Caribbeans, we also, for some reason, this is what the research says, we are subject to high blood pressure. South Asians, people from South Asian descent, they also culprits. Yeah? Certain medications that we take, medicines, the medicines that we take anyhow from anywhere, can also subject us to getting high blood pressure. And then our lifestyle, actually it's interwoven. It's part of the way you lead your life. Alcohol, not exercising. I mean, everything, the food that you eat and all that. You need to, it subjects you to getting hypertension. We also have low diet. People who have a deficiency of some vitamin deficiencies like zinc, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. If these things are low in your diet, you'll be subjected to getting hypertension. Yeah. For now, that's the little I have for you. That's the causes. So if there are any questions, we can.
Please ask questions. Please ask questions on high blood pressure. Go ahead.
Hi, my question is in relation to stress. I think a lot of Africans, we know we're stressed, but we don't know how to manage it. So what kind of things would you recommend as nurses in terms of therapy, counseling, addressing maybe generational habits and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think stress has got so many, there are so many ways of getting yourself stressed. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm having my birthday party here today. And I want you to have a gold dress, bag, shoes, and all that. You understand? So you don't have it, and you decided to, either rush around, or, you're rushing to get money to buy it, get the tailor to sew, and all that. These are unnecessary stress you are giving to yourself. If you don't have the gold dress or gold bag, and why you just wear anything? I should appreciate when you come in. It's not about the dress you are wearing. Yeah. I don't know if I've made it myself clear. So sometimes we even give ourselves unnecessary stress. There are so many stresses. Yeah. Husband stress, wife stress, job stress. Every stress, it comes in every way. But some of the stress we give it to ourselves. If you can't attend that party, it's not the end of the world. Yeah? So some of it we need to sit down and look and reflect and resolve things to ourselves. Have I made myself clear? Yeah, okay.
She has.
Uh-huh.
Exercise is one of the, you
So I think-
exercise or you
yeah.
go, you can alleviate stress. And,
Sorry,
oh,
I just want, because I mentioned about counseling and therapy, and I think that's the point that I was trying to
Sorry?
get from you guys. Counseling and therapy, because a lot of black people, specifically Africans, we don't speak about what's going on in here. So
Okay.
what kind of organizations, what kind of things would you recommend, both for the older and younger generation, to allow us to speak about things like molestation, all these different things that's happening in people's lives that causes people to be stressed, if that makes sense?
this topic, stress, is so broad, and I think it's going to have to be a continuation. But I agree with what Sister is saying over there, because last night on the forum we were saying these things, and we were saying if people have questions, please ask. As long as it's children is not like it's under 16 here or under 15, you know, where they don't understand. But we suggest if you're having issues like these, you would seek some counseling from the services, like the NHS has got services out there for you to access their service, and there are private, some private ones too. So going to the gym, as I mentioned before, exercise is good, meditation is good, interacting with people, your peers. If you have a confidant, speak to that person, someone you must get. I mean, some of us would say, oh, I'm not telling anybody or somebody, because they might go and tell a friend, and then before you know it, it escalated. But you must find someone who you can trust and sit down and talk to that person what is bothering slowly, and the stress of it will just kill you, because stress is the biggest killer in England and Wales, in the whole world, stress. So we have to tackle the root cause. And by going to the gym, my job, I have a stressful job. Every day I'm stressed, but when I finish work, I try to go to the gym at least 2-3 times per week. Sometimes I'm sleeping, driving down the road, and I'm heading towards the gym, because you have to look after yourself. You can't sit down and eat a plate of food and then you go to bed. You can't do that, you know. You have to help yourself. And education and knowledge is very powerful. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you, for example, us Africans, we like to eat nice food, the yam, the plantains and all that, and we eat late nights too. And when you go to bed and sleep, what do you think going to happen to the body? The body is already stressed with the amount of food you eat as well. Because the food you eat is nice, but it can also kill you. I'll give you an example quickly, short one. A friend of mine, her daughter is 27 years old. She's got a stroke. She's in the hospital. So it's not just middle-aged elderly people. These things are happening to young people, the younger people, and all because of obesity. Because we are eating and eating on all these Burger Kings and the fast food diet. All these things are contributory factors to it. So we have to watch our diet, look into what we are eating and what you're doing.